All right, there we go. Just refresh it, see how that goes. There we go. Yep. All right. So that other microphone didn't work. Let's march along as usual. So that other microphone didn't work. Let's march along as usual. There we go. All right. So let's you see there's the dollar index on Chicago Quant. 2 days in a buy, and let's see, where's that line again? Disappeared again on us, didn't it? 2 days in a buy, and now we're flirting with the sell again, which is about par for the course. In other words, we are dollar bears around here when given a chance. Especially, when our math turns, we're happy. Hey, Robin, I tried another microphone. It didn't seem to work out. Oh well. Well, it's the way it goes. All right. From there, let's look at it over on J4X. We'll see what they're doing with that. My sound is loud. Let's see if we can lower it down a little bit more. There we go. And there is the dollar index right there. This is the weekly. You can see it's doing the same exact thing as Chicago Quant is. They're moving down. And then let's check out the daily. Right there. It's getting ready to turn. You can see that just like we're getting ready to turn. We're red there. It's just a matter of time before this turns red. And the line is still moving up. And that should start to shift gears and start to head down soon. Give it another hour or two. Overall, we have, I guess we have ADP employment number coming out in, I guess, let's see, where's it at? It might come out at like 8:15 or 7:45 or something like that. So in another 13 minutes, we might see that. We have, I think, or maybe something has come out already. I'm not even sure. I know that the mortgage rates had come down a little bit. That's not bad. Because we're seeing that on the 10-year and the 30-year. They're both in weekly buys. And so they are pressuring the interest rates down more and more and more. I imagine the short term, let me just take a look at the short terms. I would imagine the short term, like the 3-month and the 6-month are still in the fours. But both the, let me speculate. I haven't looked at them in a couple days, but they were both under the 4. They were 3 and change. And for the 10-year and the 30-year, the 10-year is yielding where's it at now? 3.7, and the 30-year is yielding 3.7, just a little bit higher, not by much. But then the 3-month is yielding 3.6, basically 4.37 basically, and the 6-month is yielding 4.72, and then the 1 year is yielding 4.78, and then it starts to drift. The 2-year moves down a little bit, almost down to what the 3-month is, and the 3-year is a little underneath the 3-month. So then the 5-year moves underneath the 4% area. So that's why the mortgage rates are starting to drop down, because they're anticipating that we're coming to the end of the interest rate rise, and so maybe the next one will be 0.50, then the next one might be 0.25, and then another 2.5, something like that. Hard to say. We'll see. I know that I think Powell says something today. I think he releases something or says something today, so that could be a little bit more eye-opening information-wise. And that is pretty much what's going on here, is that we're in the middle of that situation where, we're not sure if they're, where they're at. We just don't know where they're at. We just know that what we do know is that they want to kill the inflation. And since they started a year late, they're having to be a little bit harsher than it should have been. I mean, they could have raised rates 2 years ago, and that would have been fine, instead of them fighting not to raise the rates. Let's see. So that's the interest rate situation at the moment there, and that's why the dollar is naturally now moving down. Okay. Now let's jump over to the euro itself. Right there. There's the euro. You see it's trying to move up a little bit. It's a 3 days in the sell at the moment. We'll see if they get it to go. I imagine Powell speaking today or releasing information today could have some effect on it. The strength overall you can see on the weekly is in a buy. And then we slip over to let's see. Right there. And you can see a couple days in a sell there. 2 now. And you can see there was just a white one. And you can see 3 days back, which is cool. And you can see just the green line broke down a couple days back and is just pressing down. They're playing the USA. Iran got knocked out. U.S. is in the Sweet 16, I guess. Did they call it the 16? Sweet 16? They're in the Sweet 16 now. Moving along nicely. I'm not sure who they're playing next, but it should be interesting. World Cup. And so you can see here just pretty much everywhere. It's just the daily and the weekly on the Swiss. I'm sorry, on the euro itself, holding very firm. Now let's jump over to cable. Right there. Cable's also moving fine in that weekly buy, not letting go. I saw their prime minister come out and say some positive things, which was nice. And you see there, it's this is the 6th week this has been in a weekly buy, and we're doing the same thing, 3 days in a sell, but you're already getting a little green and a little red there. So we're starting to, maybe we're going to get the next pop. And I would think that the Federal Reserve will do everything it can to keep stability. So we don't expect too much wild information coming out by the Fed. They'll just keep the same game going on where they keep on pretending. There's the daily there on the cable. You can see it's got the red going on just like that does. Oh, they're really pushing on China about this protest stuff. Huh. All right. Let's jump over to the Swiss. And there it is right there. There's the Swiss. And you see the strength there. 3 days of strength there with the Swiss. You see it went into the daily buy there. And let's check it out over here. Right there. Yep, looking good. And we got a green and a red before it all started. I don't know how much it can do with that weekly signal being in a sell. This is kind of interesting. The echo is trying to jump up, but we need the green line to join in to really show us that there's some buying coming in. This is just short-term, probably profit-taking more than anything else. And that's that's what we refer to on the trading floor as a dead cat bounce. In other words, I don't think the bounce has a lot of stamina. I don't think it's going to stick around long. It'll just find a way to, roll back over again and probably head down into lower 92 area or something like that. All right. And then we jump over to the yen. There it is there. Lots of red there still. And let's see, where's that at? And let's put it up on here. There we are. And you can see there it's still in the sell. Has not gotten into the buy. The weekly is doing the same thing as the Swiss, except for it has not pierced the zero line yet. But look at the green line. It's just flat. Just totally flat. And over here you see the same thing. Well, this is trying to turn up. You can see that it's turned up, but we're not getting
Market
any
data
green up in here, so
connections.
it's not pushing you into the buy side at all. It's just telling you not to be short anymore.
Market data
All right,
connection
and
reestablished.
then I guess we'll take a look at it on a weekly basis, but I don't think it's going to tell us anything different than what Chicago does. And that is that it's in a sell, and it's staying there at the moment. Not going too deep, but it's still there. And I don't really believe that. I don't really believe that there's going to be a lot of action. I think it's they're going to just slowly drive it to the end of the year. They're going to be raising rates here. I guess you could say, see, they raised rates on November 2nd, so I guess they'll be raising rates right before, I guess like 13th or 14th in the middle of the month. So that will be the next spot, and then from there we won't see it again until I guess the first week of February, maybe something like that. See how that goes. It'll be very interesting. Or the last week of Jan. More than likely, I thought it was supposed to be the first week of February. We'll see. I think holidays push it off a little bit. All right. Then from there we go over to the laboratory. Let's see what's going on with the Turkish lira and the dollar. Right there. 1864. It's trying to climb on the weekly with no problem. Let's see what they're doing over here. There we are. You see we went into a daily buy yesterday. The weekly itself is still just underneath still, right there. So it's taking no real, and you can see the green line. It just is not budging. What is that? Oh, that's okay. And you know what? What's interesting is that you can see if we change the background just a little bit, you can see that the what do you call that? The echo that I've been following for a while. I don't know what that is. Okay, I know what that is. That's the manifold itself. So they're all getting tangled together here. They're all tangled up, all three of them. And you can see that the green is just underneath the orange manifold. So we're not getting any real lift at the moment. Now over on J4X, let's see what the weekly is trying to lift. You can see that. There's a lot of strength screaming. But so far, no go. It's still in the buy, I guess, basically. That's what it comes down to, is it's been in the buy and it hasn't gone into the sell. And it's pretty much just trading a big, giant range at this point. Again, because of the illiquidity. Storm! Stronger? Like, can lift 200 contracts over their head versus only like 150 contracts over their head? Robin has some girth to him. He's tough in the pit. You can't budge him. That's for sure. I used to wear spikes. I would wear spikes, get that extra inch taller from it, and people wouldn't step on my feet because I had spikes and they knew it. Robin holds his ground well, I can tell you that. He can trade the top step with the best. I was a wunk, roaming around in the option pits and back and forth. But I have a good loud voice. But Robin has a good loud voice. So I don't know who's stronger. I have sharp elbows, but I didn't usually use them. Robin was so big and strong, you bounce off of him if you're trying to push him out of the way. Did I ever tell you a storm about the optionettes? In the very, very beginning, the old company, what was it, with the Michael Milken Company? I can't think of their name now. Drexel Burnham Lambert. Drexel Burnham Lambert. They were one of the top brokerage houses, one of those great boutiques, and they put in the option pits. They put blonde-haired women in salmon-colored trading jackets. You don't think that's where you got strength. I mean, guys were willing to make a trade with them all day long. They were strong. All right. I hope that answered your question there. Let's see. Where are we at with this? Oh, yes, Turkish lira. Did I do the daily? I think I did the daily. Let me just go back to it there. There's the daily. A couple days in the buy, too, just like Chicago Quat right there. All right. And then we go over to location, location, location. We take a look at the euro Turkish lira right there, which has been, oh, look at that, red. Red from yesterday. The lines underneath. A little pressure there. Let's put it up over on Chicago Quat. What do you think of the salmon-colored trading jackets for the blondes back in the early 80s? Is that sexist or something like that? Do they call that sexist now? I imagine they do. They used to refer to them as optionettes. They got their orders filled really well. They were able to buy and sell with no problem. Guys were willing to trade with them all day long. All right, and from there, you can see over on Chicago Quant, 3 days in a sell on the daily. You can see, but that weekly is still very firm, which is very interesting. Whereas the dollar pairs trade is not. Don't tell me you're not going to answer that. Come on. Give a 67-year-old a laugh. Let's see. All right, and that pretty much finishes off the euro Turkish lira. Let's jump over to, where do we go from there? We're moving along fast this morning. I guess there's no questions. You're still thinking. Well, I know normally you think very quickly, so you're being polite. That's all you're doing. You're being polite. Remember, this is the cyber trading pit. You can say anything you want. We don't. It doesn't hurt our feelings. Trust me. But yeah, I've never seen you, Storm, move so slow on a statement. I can tell you those Drexel Burnham Lambert floor traders, they could respond very quickly. They executed orders just as good or better than the guys. So I guess it's like female fighter pilots, you know. Let's see. We go from there, from the Turkish lira. Where do we go from there? I think we go down to the Mexican peso, where we saw yesterday the thing was really drifting. Oh, no, I know it is. We go to the CAD, and we look at the CAD and oil. Now, you can see here, CAD has been moving up for the last 3 days, and now it's finally dipping down, and I know that oil is like closed in a daily buy in the front month. So let's do that. Let's go to oil. There's oil. You can see it's battling its way up. That's the front month there. And so we're just starting to see a little weakness. Do you trade live futures, NQs, and ES? Oh, sure. Would you like to see one? You want to see the S&P 500? We can put the S&P 500 up there. We'll go back to the currencies afterwards. And let's see, where is it at? Right there. There's the, you can see we got a red and a green developing. We've been in the sell for a couple of days, but our weekly is holding up very, very strong. So we're not taking this as anything too serious at the moment. Yeah, we're looking at it and we're saying, meh. You know, it's no real. Same thing over here on the. Actually, what was kind of interesting is for a change, the NQs. They were down just as much as everybody else, but they didn't go into the sell until a day later. Right there, it was yesterday. And today you can see they're trying to lift up now. This has got a little work to do. It's a little behind on the weekly. You know, it took a while for it to get into the weekly. It went into the weekly buy, the weekly sell. It was in a weekly sell from the 13,000 area from here. 12,500 area. Let's put the line in there. Right there. There we go. So it went into the sell that week. We went into a buy. It kept you out of it until right there. Let's put the lines in on that too. There was the buy. And then after we got the sell signal, right there, there was your sell. So it was like, you know, very clear message that there was going to be a little bounce going on. You had a red and green dot day kick out, and then the buy went in and jumped up for a little bit and then fell apart. And let's see, I guess it went to the buy here for a couple of days and then went back into the sell again there. Let's put that in there, because we don't have anybody following it at the moment. And then we went into the sell, let's see, there, right? Yeah, sell right there. And, oh, I guess I'm putting them in the wrong spots. That's it, right there. And that was the buy right there. Let's remove those. We like doing this. It helps to, there we are. There we are. There was the buy again there. Let's widen that a little bit so you can see it better too. So, was it, are we there? I think it was it over one more, like right there. It's this one, right there. So that was the buy right there. And it gave it a little pop there. And then the sell right there. And then we went back into a buy right there afterwards. But you can't take the buys because we're in a weekly sell. And then we go into the sell there again. Let's put that in there. That's how we do this. We coordinate the dailies with the weeklies, and then you get into a sell on the close of that, and then you get, you know, you got your profit there. And then what do we do here? We got a buy, and it stayed in there until, where was it? Like right here. And it was a sloppy, might have been profitable, but it was sloppy as all get out. So let's see, where's the sell at? No, the sell was right there. So it was, you know, not, wait a minute, that's the sell. Oh yes, there's the buy. Let me put the buy in there like that. That's what it is. There's the buy. Okay. So you don't take the buy because we're in a weekly sell. So you just wait. And then it goes into the sell here, and it, you know, I'm not sure if this is clean or not because we've had nobody watching this for months. So end result is that it goes back into the buy here. But we'll live and die by it no matter what. That's how we play it around here. There is no fudging of the math, that's for sure. And then it goes back into the sell here, and then you get that nice sell off here, even with that little gap down, super win. And then you get into the buy at the end of that, but you're not taking the long from it. You're just not being short anymore. And there's your buy. And then still in the buy. Where is it going to sell? It goes into the sell right there. Going to the sell there? No, that's a buy. That's mixed. Because it's a red and green, it's still in a buy. Then it's still in a buy right there, and then goes into the sell right there. And then the next day it goes into the buy again. And it jumps up. You give up a little bit. That's a loss, I think. Definitely that's a loss. That's a loss. That's definitely a loss. And then from there, where is it? Right here you get a sell. And then it jumps back up again. There's another, so what is that? That is, oh wait a minute, let's fix that. There we are. No, that's got it. So is that a buy? What is that? That is still in a sell. So it's still in a weekly sell. And it jumps up. You take a hit on that. And then right there, you get most of it back from that trade right there. And then we start to get into the plus side here. So you don't really want to take any trade until it clarifies itself. And there's the buy. And you don't want to take the short now because this is through the, let's make that a dashed line. And we're not sure how clean that is data-wise either. Could be, you know, it could be corrupted, but who cares? because we're not putting any money on it at the moment. And then I can say this is all clean over here, I think, because I've had to fix it lately. Someone asked about it, and so I fixed it. I made it functional. And then it puts you into the buy here, and there's your win. Puts you in the sell here, you can't take it. And then it puts you into the buy. Where's it? Puts you in the buy right here, actually. So let's put that in there. And that's, let's see, so what is it? Okay, yeah, so we move that one over. And then we go like that. We keep the S&P 500 clean because we have people watching it. But when no one's watching it, I don't pay attention to it. And then you got, a buy there. That's another win. And then the sell finally just kicked out yesterday. It's not doing too good a job, but in the end result is that you're not short anyway because we're in a buy signal for 3 full weeks. This is the 4th week now. I hope that helped. Fuzzy picture? Oh. There we go. How about this and make it larger? There we go. I got the lines in there, so it works out real well. How about this too? Like that? Is that any better, or should we go like do this? Go into the grays. Like that. Is that any better? And that red line should be down at the bottom. Right there. Is it less fuzzy now? So that's the NQs. I think Robin had somebody who was interested in NQ, so we talked about it. But I don't think they got I know they didn't see a chart, but they were asking something about it. Oh, I think they were looking at the Dow, the Dow 30 NQ pairs trade. I think that's what they were looking for. Wasn't that what it was, Robin? And then, is that less fuzzy? So then, that had been a great pairs trade for the Dow side of it, and someone was interested in taking on the Nasdaq side of it, and I would think it's starting to get towards that point, but not yet, because, well, at least they're both in buys. That's the good thing, but until we get a real clarity about interest rates, I would not be very fast to jump into a pairs trade like that at the moment. Because unfortunately the NQs are so interest sensitive. If Powell says anything, not sure. No, it's not reliable. What, the color? Is it these lines that are driving you crazy because they're dotted? We can try to fix that. So in other words, instead of dotted, we can make them firm like that, maybe? It's not readable. Huh. Which color is readable? Would it be better to go like that? Or like, yeah. How's that? Is that better? Maybe I need to make this a little bit thicker too. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Okay, fire away.
Oh, it's awful.
It's really
The
both.
chart is a little bit readable, but the center and the bottom and everything else around it is very far.
Okay.
Fuzzy.
I think I got to make it thicker.
Maybe, but even the thick lines on the top chart are fuzzy.
Huh. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see the same thing a little bit. But,
That's a lot here.
yeah. I
Focus that? Does it allow it? Does it have a focus
No, I don't know. I don't think it does.
I did to Giannis,
Yeah, really.
and it's not readable.
Okay.
You can't see the numbers in the right. You can't see anything.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's smeared.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. Is it just that chart or everything?
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Okay.
Not where you put comments, but the actual.
Well, yeah, there you go. I just put the S.
It's awful.
Right, I just put the S&P 500 up there. How's that look? I guess dark looks better. Here comes the S&P.
I don't even know what I'm seeing because I can't read it.
Right now, here I clicked over to it. Let's see if it changes. Here we go. Here we go. It's about a delay. How's that? Is that a little bit better? I see. Yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay.
It's somewhat readable. You cannot read the numbers in the column on the right at all.
Right.
Reading a small print, forget it. Where it indicates what market it is,
Right.
it's like a rectangle.
Right. Right. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. I'm glad you called. Okay. Now, darker is better. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the NQs and make it darker. All right, right there. That should help a little bit. Let's see how that goes. And there's the NQs. Like I said, I fixed this area here, the front area, just a couple weeks just to be able to give Robin some information. I'm not sure how much data is incorrect or correct in this, but we put it up there either way. We live and die by our charts every day, no matter what. So we're going to keep this updated now solely because Robin's been talking to somebody about it. So I'll be keeping an eye on it. Then, let's see, so where were we? And then we could show you the, let's see, where is it? It's not there. We'll show you the, would you like to see the Dow or you just wanted to see the NQs and the S&Ps? Here's the Dow. And you can see, I guess it's not filling in yet for today. We're not seeing a, let's put that in there. So it's been in the daily sell for 2 days. This is the third day. Let's see if that does it. There we go. Doing the same thing again today. You can see that right there. Getting a red and green. It's trying to turn up. I put this sell in there. You can see how much smoother the Dow Jones Industrial Average has been running. It's been running much smoother. We keep this up to date. I keep this clean. We use it at the end of each week. And so there's the Dow Jones Industrial Average. All right. I'm going to go back to finish off the Canadian and the South African Rand. But if you or anybody out there want to look at it, at any product, just shout it out. We'll go take a look at it. And thank you, Zulu. Same situation. The yeah, it's a little bit faded. And I'm looking up at the, what do they call that? The OBS. Maybe I can control it through the OBS. Maybe there's like a, a setting or something like that. I can try to fix the colors, see if I can make it clearer. All right, and from there, let's close this out. That's tool. All right, and then we go over to finish off the currency. And let's just take, there is Canadian. And so when we see the crude oil, here's the crude oil right there. You see it's lifting up. It's battling its way up. Oh, that's the March contract. That's the back month. And then the front month is 2 days in a buy. See, it's been in a buy for 2 days there. So we're seeing that strength. But we're still in a weekly sell. That's the problem. We've been in a weekly sell since here, since this area here, the 90-ish area, and 88 area or something like that. And what was the highs there? 89.23, 89.20. You know, so the 88, high 88s, and so or you can see it went into the sell here and broke down, and it seems to be coming back up, and the Canadian is trying to join in with it. That's why you see the Canadian right now, like right there, you know, trying to move down. When it moves down against the dollar, it's gaining in value. And then we go over to the South African Rand, and the Rand is scraping the bottom here, and that only insinuates that we're going to see strength in the metals market. And we'll go there like that. Let's see, where's it at? Right there. And of course, this is gold is moving up in value, just as the South African Rand is moving down. And it does that. It's a, you know, it's that is so much more precise, I guess you could say. And here is the, where is it at? There's the gold. You see that it's trying to push up, getting no buy today. It's showing some real good strength in there. We are now in February gold. We've moved over to the February gold. And let's just take a look at the South African Rand on here too at the same time. There's South African Rand on the daily also. You see it's trying to press down just as the gold is going up. So it works very good. You know, it's a really well correlation between each other. Whereas Canadian is about 70-75% of the time. All right. And again, traders, if you have any interest in seeing any particular product, just throw it up on the chat line. We'll go to it. If we can get it, we'll show it to you. And then from there, I guess we go and we finish off the currencies. We look at the Mexican peso, which we saw right at the beginning of the webinar. There it is right there. And you see it's bouncing off of its lows. You see that. Matter of fact, gave it a big push down. Been in the daily sell back here. We've been in a weekly sell since back up in here. So it's been telling you to take the short trades each time. Can we say about, let's put it up on here. There it is there. You see all that red on the daily. And their weekly, there we are. And you can see the weekly's got a green line trying to come up because it's at the bottom end of the range, but it's all red still. So, you know, it's still pushing down just like our weekly is pushing down. All right, from there we drift over to, I guess we're in metals at the moment, so we'll go back to the metals. And we'll take a look at silver and copper and so forth. And you can see right there, there's the gold looking very firm, very comfortable. Not lifting big yet. Maybe it'll take out the 1800 again. I would assume so. As long as we're in a weekly buy like this and the strength of it, this is going on the 6th week when it comes to the Feb contract. You know, it's pressing hard and steady. And then over here, we'll take a look at silver. And let's put silver up over here. There's silver. You see all that pressure on the upside on the daily. Is that the daily? No, it's the weekly. Just like here. In fact, where's the lines at? Fix that line there. Fix that line there. And fix that line there. And fix that line there. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. And so there we go. You can see we're in the buy there. We switched this over to March contract now. Save workspace. There we are. There. And so we've been seeing some good strength out of this ever since it got to the top of the manifold and broke through right there. And the daily buy was a good one. Interesting daily buy. And then it gets into this, it tells you that there's pressure on the downside, and there's your sell. And they give it to us, and then back into the buy again. Another good win. Right now, this is interesting. They pushed in the sell last couple of days. We got a volatility signal, and now we are climbing into the buy today as we speak. So we're really convinced that the metals complex is going to stay steady and go up. It's going to be on an upwardly projection because we've been thinking all along that the interest rates were going to be anticipating to be lowered. So as you can see, as I mentioned, 3 month and 6 month are trading in the 4s. So is the 1 year. They're trading in the 4.7s, almost 4.8s, things like that. And then they start to slide back down again, and then go to the 5 year. It drops underneath 4%. And so that's pretty much the situation at the moment. All right, from there, we drift over to copper. And we moved I think we moved the copper contract a couple of days ago. There's the March. It's in a buy for 3 or 4 days here now. We always think of this as more of a manifestation of China. And you can see we've been in that weekly buy for a while here. So they're not exactly, failing at the strength of it all. So went into the buy off of this big spike up. I don't know if we have to clean that up or not. Let me just look at the exchange. See what they show on the exchange on that. Because that's a big, big gap. And I'm kind of a little surprised about that. I just made sure that it was clean from the 17th. I think that's what it was. November 17th. I made it clean from there, and I didn't check the other prices. Let's see, copper right there. Let's see what that shows for. What is that? That's what is that? That is the beginning of November. The 4th. Let's see what. And that is March. Yeah, that's wrong. That's way wrong. The low is like down in here. We'll have to clean that up. And it's not going to change the buy signal, I can tell you that. But it does look funny. What else can I say about that? Let's see. The rest of it, that looks. Is that right? That's wrong, and that's wrong, and that's wrong. Yeah, it needs a lot of cleaning, but I'm not going to worry about it. Because, we were trading the December contract, and it's up to date now. And if you're following it, we just changed over 2 days ago, so this is all fine. All that is fine. Yeah, that's all cool. What is that? That's there the 30th. Okay, excellent. So, what else can we say? I guess that's about it when it comes to the copper contract. And since it's Wednesday, we'll go take a look at platinum. See what platinum's up to. There's platinum. And I guess we have to change. No, I guess platinum is all right for January right now, but we're going to be looking at changing that over the next couple of weeks. We're going to move that into. Let's see which one is the next front month on platinum, just for interest's sake. Platinum. January is. Oh yeah, it's the whole game. The next one is April, and it's just starting to pick up some action. And they traded 750 contracts yesterday versus 8,000 of the January contract. Open interest is not too bad. There's 11,000 there, almost 12, compared to 55,000 in January. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then we go over to. Where do we go over to? We go over to the energy sector. Let's check out energies. And there we looked at front month crude. There it is right there on J4X. All right, there's Brent. Brent is now in 86.73. Yesterday was in the 85s. They are doing their best to try to turn up. It's same as our work in a weekly sell right there, as you can see. Same thing here in a weekly sell. Pressure green line underneath the dashed red hinky ASCIIs. So it's in the sell there. And then there's the daily. You see last couple of days it's in a buy, just like we're in a buy. Oh, here it is. ADP 127 versus 200,000. So it was much weaker. Did it have much of an effect on stocks? It does. The Dow's up 60 points now compared to being up only 20 before the news came out, but that's not anything really. That's just noise in the background. We can take a look at our intraday. Let's take a look at our intraday. Here's the intraday on the S&P. So what it did is it spiked it right there. This is a, what is this? This is a 786, or what I would refer to as a 2.62 Tesla, whereas this one right here is a 0.62 Tesla, just a 0.62. And so the news came out right there, and it jumped up. The S&Ps jumped up from 370 to almost 380 in a matter of what? That was at 7:15 over a 2-minute period. Yeah, I guess a 2-minute period. And now it's starting to back off, and when it goes underneath here, it's into the sell again. It's still in the sell all the way to right here, and then it goes back into the sell right, not there, but right there. It goes back into the sell, and it's still in the sell as we speak. So let's see, bonds are they just went from 2.1 to 1.9. Just a little, their interest rates are dropping just a little bit more. Is that right? Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Just dropping a little bit more. NASDAQ's looking all right. It's performing the best of them all, up almost half a percentage point, versus only the Dow is up only like about 12 percentage point. Basically 12/10 of a percentage point. So it's and NASDAQ and Qs are up 0.45 percentage point. So that's that interest rate factor. The tech stocks are really very interest sensitive all the time. So there we are. And so there's the crude. That's the front month, and we showed you the back month. You see we have on J4X we have the Brent up there, and there's the back month, and it's trying to battle its way into a buy also, but both are in weekly sells, and so that makes it a little bit different. And same thing with Brent. Brent is also in a weekly sell right there. So we've got that pressure there. I think it's just going to be sideways up action type of thing. But I'm real surprised that we're down in the 70s when people need heating oil and they need energy for keeping warm. It always is a surprise to me. Then from there we go take a look at natural gas real quick. And here it is in the States. Trading at 7.1. Just kind of been firm for days now, coming off of the high or mid fives. And there it is right there. So you see here we were down in the sixes. There was the fives back about a month ago, a little more than a month ago, and now it's battling. What is that? That is 5.550. We're in January, and this is probably still reflecting December. So, and then let's get into the daily. They should look a lot more, and they do. They look a lot alike, just like that right there, and right there. You see that same thing. And we are flirting. We went into the weekly buy last week, and we're already pressing down back into the sell again. All right, and then from there we go over to the Spanish natural gas company. That gives us definitely more insight on the price area. We're bouncing around. We were in the low 26s yesterday. We're like mid 26s today. The summertime, we saw the lows of like 20, 22 and a half, mid 22s and a half. So it's higher. We've seen this high almost up to 28 a couple days ago. And now we're seeing the natural gas dropping off a little bit into the 26s. And yesterday it was a little bit lower, 26.20, 26.30. We'd like to see that keep on falling for those that might be freezing or cold. All right, in Europa in particular. Now from there, let's see. That's pretty much our look at the energies. And then what we normally do is we go to the stock indices. So we've seen the S&P. Let's just take a look at the S&P again, right there. You see it's still trying to lift up. This has not moved, and we'll take a look at it right here on J4X on a daily. It's still not moved, and our weeklies are all strong. Weekly is strong, and let's put it here on J4X. Where are you? Right there. Let's put the weekly on there. It's in a buy with no problem. Very firm. We are at the top end of the range. The green line has broken underneath, but it's pretty solid. That's the way ours is too. It's curving, but we're still in a buy with no problem. And then from there, we can drift over to some of the crypto area and take a look at Bitcoin. We heard from, if Janos, you're listening, I heard from Wilco this morning. Wanted to check in and see what's going on, what I thought about the cryptos. I said to him, the visibility really is the answer to it all. I mean, like Ethereum and Bitcoin are looking relatively docile. Look at that. It's basically been sideways throughout this whole. That was the FTX collapse, and then it's just been sideways firm. And when we see it over here on Chicago Quant, we're in a daily buy for. Let's see. We'll show you both weeklies. Both weeklies look the same right there. They're both pressing down, but the daily. We've been in a daily buy now for. This is a 5th day. And we had a 6th day back. It was a volatility signal. So they are not selling like Bitcoin itself because it's as I said to I said to Wilco, Janos, I was saying to them that it's very visible. Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're very visible. So people are not that nervous about those products. Whereas some of these products, you can't get trades, you can't get bids and offers. They're in wallets. I don't know why people put these things in wallets. Kind of defeats the purpose. What's the difference between a greedy individual and a greedy government? Nothing. I don't know why they do that. I would never put it in a wallet. Ugh. So, and then that's what the exchange tries to pretend, that they're like an exchange. Bitcoin. Was it Coinbase in the States here? Let's see if we can show you that. I sent that over to him this morning too. Look at that. Bitcoin's acting very well in here. Look at the strength in that today. We're really starting to lift. And I was saying to them that, let's see, where's that? Let's put it in here like that. There it is right there. The Coinbase, it's an equity-based exchange. And it's very healthy, very healthy. I think it's in the daily sell again, and look at it right now. It's battling to get back into the buy, and it's ever since this picked up the problem with it up in here, which was interesting in the 70s. It went into the daily sell at like 72, and so the thing traded as low as 40, 61. So. That's like I don't know, was that a 42% drop? So it picked up on that ahead of the Bitcoin, I think. I think it did. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin was reading it fairly well also. So it's like they're both 4 weeks in a sell. I think, let me go look at Coinbase. Coinbase might be 5 weeks. No. It's 5 weeks. It's over 5 weeks. Okay, so Coinbase picked up on the weakness a little bit earlier and gave a good steady drop right there. in that weekly sell situation. And when we go over to Bitcoin itself, we went into the sell there, but it would have been nice if we didn't have this stuff, where we got into the buy. That's the problem. It made the money back, but it would have been nice. Whereas Coinbase didn't have that problem whatsoever. All right, that's pretty much it. Anybody want to see anything, we'll put it up there, and if not, we're going to get out of here. I'll take a sip of my tea and wait around and see if anybody wants to look at any particular product. What else can we look at over in that sector? That's usually the index sector. That's what we look at. And this is still looking relatively firm. The S&P is holding up fairly well. All right. From there, we say goodbye. So, happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be tomorrow, Thursday. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Catch you tomorrow. This is Doc saying over and out.